Nutrition is one of the most important intervention in lifestyle medicine. Food plays an integral role regardless of an individual's condition. There is consistent and compelling evidence to support healthy eating patterns that whole foods, plant-based for preventing, managing and reversing chronic diseases. Welcome to second postgraduate course of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. Enhance your knowledge in nutrition science, nutrition assessment, nutrition prescription, and culinary medicine skills.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our live sessions this afternoon. How are you? How are you guys? For those just joining in, this is the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine's second virtual postgraduate course. If you have not typed in your profession before logging in, please change your names now. Please type in your specialty or profession and then your name. This is so our technical team can assign you to the breakout rooms smoothly. Also, please stay muted and open your cameras as much as possible so we can interact and connect with each other easily, and our speakers will very much appreciate it. Thank you very much for your cooperation. After the first webinar, there will be a Q&A with our speaker to be led by our moderators, and we also have another set of giveaway questions, and winners will be chosen and will be given prizes from Follygo. For the afternoon sessions, it is my honor to introduce to you our moderators. Our first moderator finished his Bachelor of Science in Biology as cum laude from Ateneo de Zamboanga University. He attained his Doctor of Medicine in 2011 and Master in Public Health in 2012 from Ateneo de Zamboanga School of Medicine. He also finished his Master in Hospital Administration from St. Jude College, Manila. He ranked 7th in the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine in 2020. Previously, he served as the company physician of TVI Resource Development, Balaba Gold and Silver Project. He was also the municipal health officer in Basilan and a resident physician at Ciudad Medical Zamboanga in 2018. Presently, he is a lifestyle medicine physician at Zamboanga Lifestyle Medicine Clinic and the medical officer 3 at Basilan General Hospital. We have Dr. Abdul Javar Esturco. Our next moderator graduated from the University of the Philippines, Manila, where she earned her degree, Bachelor of Science in Public Health, and completed her doctorate in medicine at the University of Perpetual Help Delta, Jonelta Foundation of Medicine in Las Piñas. She has recently been added to the growing number of lifestyle medicine physicians as a diplomate of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine and International Board of Lifestyle Medicine. She is currently completing advanced courses in PCLM and has been undergoing advanced training under the Occupational Safety and Health Center of the Department of Labor and Employment. Our moderator is a physician practicing and merging evidence based lifestyle medicine and occupational medicine principles in the community and workplace settings to help individuals and families adopt and sustain healthy behaviors that affect health and quality of life, and to promote safety and health and wellness in the workplace by implementing effective OSH and wellness programs that will reduce the potential for injuries and illnesses on the job. She's currently the occupational health consultant of several corporations, including LG Electronics Philippines, Nickel Asia Corporation, Shared Global Services, Admerex, and Amaisim Philippines. We're all in for a treat today. So, without much further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Maria Kathleen Rose Paule. Thank you very much, Dr. Esturco and Dr. Paula, for being our moderators this afternoon. Our first topic is the practice of culinary medicine. If there is something that most of you missed during the first non virtual postgraduate course, I believe it was the sumptuous, healthy lunch that was served during the conference. Can I see a thumbs up or a heart there? All right. So many people don't find plant-based diets interesting because it does not appeal to their taste at all. But when we learn about the art of cooking and be able to prepare healthy and delicious meals for our families, then plant-based diet is the way to go. It is best for our health and environment. The idea of food as a tool for health is not necessarily new. However, this approach to education empowers individuals of all ages and experiences to overcome common barriers to healthy eating and is a refreshing view of medicine. Culinary medicine is an emerging field. It is a new educational and nutritional approach to improving eating behaviors, focusing on skills such as shopping or food shopping, storage, and meal preparation. So, culinary medicine is simply the art of cooking health. And to tell us more about the practice of culinary medicine, we have Dr. Mechelle Palma. Dr. Mechelle Palma is a family medicine physician and lifestyle medicine specialist. She finished her Master of Management in Hospital Administration in 2017 and an ongoing degree in Doctor of Philosophy in Health Administration at the Philippine Christian University. She is also earning her Doctor of Public Health, major in Preventive Healthcare at the Adventist University of the Philippines. Dr. Palma finished her culinary coaching course at the Harvard School of Medicine facilitated by the Institute of Lifestyle Medicine and attended trainings at the Goldring School of Culinary Medicine, Natural Gourmet, and Ruby Cooking School. Having a passion for utilizing cooking to encourage healthy eating habits on her patients, she developed the first training design and curriculum on culinary medicine in Asia that was launched in 2016 and is now utilized in many different educational platforms. She developed the Doctor's Teaching Kitchen to provide conducive venue for nutrition coaching and culinary medicine skills development. At present, she is the president of Remnant Institute Incorporated. She is also a professor at the Adventist University of the Philippines College of Medicine and College of Health, and a faculty of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, competency review of which she is also a fellow. Speaking about the practice of culinary medicine, let us all welcome the current president of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine, Dr. Mechelle Palma. Let's give her the time.
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you so much for the introduction. And I'm so happy to have you this afternoon. Actually, this morning, I hope that you were able to access the materials that we provided you. We know that there might be some challenges in terms of connection, but rest assured that our team is just right there to assist you if you have some questions. So this afternoon will be the practice of nutrition, prescription, and assessment. And in line with that, we'll be introducing to you what culinary medicine is all about. It might be new to you, just like it was to me 5 years ago. So before I go ahead, let me just share you this video. And I hope that you'll be able to hear this and let me know if the sound is working. Thank you.
Finally tonight, medical school is no joke, not with classes like anatomy, neuroscience, cell biology, and cooking. Yes, cooking. Chip Reed has more.
A little overwhelmed overwhelmed at this point?
I can't cook.
You can't cook.
No.
This is a required course for first-year students at Tulane Medical School in New Orleans.
What's more fun, this or biochemistry?
Oh, this is more fun.
This.
Tulane is leading the way in the booming field of culinary medicine.
Seems like Tulane has a really good idea about not just making us good doctors, but making us like good at overall health. And I think that's important.
The salt, the thyme seasoning, the pepper.
Leah Saris is the first chef in the nation on a medical school faculty.
I think this is part of it. There's a revolution in the way that physicians are talking to their patients and including food in that conversation. And some of it has started here at Tulane with our culinary medicine courses. We're now in about 15% of medical schools in the U.S. They've licensed our curriculums.
The secret is convincing the students that food that's good for you is also good.
I think it's good. They think that it's going to taste like cardboard. So I think we pleasantly surprise people.
Have you tasted it?
Yeah, it tastes delicious. It looks very professional, so
Are you pretty proud of yourselves?
pretty proud of ourselves.
And is this what your patients are going to be eating someday?
They better. I'm gonna pass on this recipe. So,
Well, banana muffin. Oh, you're doing
In the evening, the medical students become teachers, helping community members like Susan Bouchon and Cynthia Edwards learn the secrets of healthy cooking.
So your whole family is eating healthier.
they're eating tofu, they're eating quinoa, they're eating whole oats. They don't know.
They like it?
They like it. They love it. My overall cholesterol dropped by like 20 points. My triglycerides dropped by like 17 points.
At Tulane Medical School, the proof is not in the pudding. It's in the whole wheat pasta with lentils and vegetables.
The veggies are soft enough.
Chip Reed, CBS News, New Orleans.
Yeah, we can turn it off.
All right, so basically that's just a simple introduction of what culinary medicine is all about. So I hope you got the idea right now that this is literally for healthcare providers, right? So that's why it's called culinary medicine. So as you can see, I only have 4 objectives for this afternoon. I'd like to identify some of the diseases related to poor nutrition, and then let's discuss some of the modifiable risk factors, and then let's analyze the role of health behavior change to improving the health impact, and lastly, to introduce to you what culinary medicine practice is all about. Now, if you can see this slide, these are the top 5 killer diseases in the world, and this is true in the Philippines, and these are all lifestyle related. The World Health Organization is also now telling us that this same condition actually increases the risk, or susceptibility to COVID-19. And even the CDC is telling us that with the presence of those non-communicable diseases, the risk for mortality is even higher. So with all those things that we know right now that we've been facing for over a year this time, clearly we are facing a double burden disease. And this is COVID-19 affront, and then we have the non-communicable disease at the background. So as you can see, I have a very, relevant question to ask actually to our audience later. And now you can see here at the National Statistics Office, at least this is the data that they got in 2017, you will find here that 6 of the top 10 killer diseases are actually lifestyle related. And it's the same thing that is reported by the CDC, right? So the question would be, what if the NCD cases were low? What would you think may happen today? What would you think would be the impact of COVID-19, right? So what if the top 5 killer diseases were not non-communicable disease? So I was thinking if NCDs, prevalence, and incidence were low, I would say that most of the patients that we see in the clinic right now, yes, maybe they can get COVID-19, but they may stay at a symptomatic stage, and sometimes you won't even know that you got infected. So I would imagine that I would not be wearing a lot of all these PPEs day and night, whenever you face patient. You would understand what I'm talking about if you're a frontliner, yeah? So, or maybe some of us may got flu-like symptom, and very, very few people would develop critical condition. So that is if NCDs cases and prevalence were low. So right now, we can see a primary solution to this double burden of disease. It's practically simple, pretty simple, you know. So if you come to think of it, the burden of non-communicable disease has been there for quite so long already. And right now, we still have that condition dictating whether our patients who will be contracted with COVID-19 will survive or not, or will develop critical condition or not. So here you will see the guidelines, or the guideline from the World Health Organization that is telling us that yes, if you have NCD, you are increasing your risk in developing or in contracting COVID-19 and developing critical condition. And they are telling us to maintain healthy lifestyle by eating healthy diet, staying active, so on and so forth. But this is one of my most favorite slide coming from the World Health Organization. And they were saying, like, these are all modifiable risk factors. You see, most of the factors identified in the development of chronic conditions are actually modifiable, and these are behavioral risk factors. That means we can do something about it. And they are telling us to prioritize physical inactivity, tobacco use, alcohol use, and of course, as you can see, as highlighted there, and this is the meat of our discussion for this afternoon, unhealthy diet, focusing mostly on increased fat and sodium intake and low in fruit and vegetable intake, right? So in fact, it's not only the World Health Organization telling us that, the UNDP, the UN Interagency Task Force on NCD, as you can see in this paper. This was actually done together with the Philippine Department of Health, which was entitled Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases in the Philippines, which is a case for investment. This is really very interesting because this paper is actually suggesting, for the Philippines to invest on the following programs, on the following projects that they can see to control the disease, the burden of NCD. Now, looking at the disease burden of NCD, see, it's 4.8 of the GDP. That's a huge burden, as you can see. Now, it's not only the national budget, that's having a hard time working on the control of NCD, but it's your budget at your homes, right? So all your patients, whenever you prescribe medication to patients, at the back of your mind, you're thinking, how can they even sustain this maintenance medication that I have to give them? How can they even sustain, taking all these prescriptions, that I need to provide them? Now, I'm sure as a practitioner, as a physician, as a nurse, and of course a nutritionist, how we wish we can solve the root of the problem, the cause of the problem, right? And in this study, I'd like to highlight as well. As you can see, there is, it was mentioned here that there is a 29% probability that any Filipino may die prematurely, unnecessarily, because of these non-communicable diseases. And unfortunately, the average lifespan of Filipinos, it has gone higher this time. For female, it's about 74 years old. For male, it's 68, but it's still relatively low compared to other Asian countries. We are like 10 years lower compared to Japan. And the average age of death, according to NSO, for Filipinos is just 62 years old because of non-communicable diseases. So that's why this project was actually proposed. And then they were saying that these packages, healthcare packages, will really help us, have a very good return of investment in terms of solving non-communicable diseases. And of course, when we solve NCD, we can manage communicable disease or the pandemic we're facing this time. So here, as you can see, this is tobacco, alcohol, salt reduction, and physical activity. Right? So these are the number of lives that we can save, and the return of investment that we can see. So it really made a lot of sense. Now, furthermore, I'd like to emphasize here that in the clinical practice guidelines, which wherever journals you would visit, or whatever guidelines you want to see and check, you will find there that nutrition plays a huge role, right? Lifestyle modification, lifestyle intervention, lifestyle therapy, however you want to call it, it's right there. It is prescribed. Now, this is at least the International Society of Hypertension. This is 2020. As you can see, if you have grade 1 hypertension, what you want to start with is lifestyle intervention. If you have grade 2 hypertension, you might end up providing drug treatment to a patient, but you still have to start lifestyle intervention, right? And what are those lifestyle intervention? We've mentioned earlier, it includes smoking, regular exercise, and let's focus on the diet. So it's salt reduction and healthy diet, right? So this is the guideline for diabetes. Okay, this is actually a comprehensive guideline for diabetes because they also deal with obesity, they also deal with dyslipidemia, hypertension, and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. As you can see, the guideline is pretty much simple. It's lifestyle intervention, which is top of the line. And among those lifestyle intervention, what covers most of it, of the part of it, is actually nutrition. Now, even in lifestyle medicine, we usually say nutrition usually covers 60% or more of the intervention that we provide in lifestyle medicine. And I was so interested, and it's really nice, you know, to see questions coming from our participants who are kind of new to lifestyle medicine. If this is your first time joining the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine, yes, we are focusing more on the plant-based diet because we focus more on what is recommended on the guidelines, right? So here, as you can see, on nutrition, you will see plant-based diet, which is high in polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fat, avoiding trans fats, limiting saturated fat, okay? And we couple it with a structured counseling and, of course, meal replacement, specifically for those who needed to go through transition process, because not all patients can jump directly to optimal diet. You know, many of our patients would go transition, and so we do meal replacement at the same time. Now here, how about metabolic syndrome? So this is a common diagnosis this time. I know if you're in family medicine, if you're in internal medicine, even in OBGYN, you manage a lot of patients with metabolic syndrome, right? So here, the guideline that we can see is actually the same thing. Your therapeutic goal for metabolic syndrome is to actually look at the risk factors, the lifestyle risk factors: abdominal obesity, physical inactivity, and the atherogenic diet. And even when we deal with what do you call this, lipid control for patients, here, if we want to deal with the LDL, if this is elevated, we want to put it down to the level that that will provide the lowest risk for patients, specifically with heart disease and some other comorbidities. You can find their lifestyle therapy, right? Both for all, you can see, for high risk patients, for moderately high risk patients, for moderate risk patients, and for low risk patients. This is practically simple, and this is clear that in all stages of morbidity, you know, we need to implement lifestyle therapy. Okay. Now here, this one is in fact for cardiovascular disease. This is coming from the American Heart Association. And I like this study, and I really love this study. Why do we always focus on plant-based diet? Because we already know that people are so good in preparing animal-based diet. Why would we focus on that, right? Because we know very well that that's the most thing that's occupying the center of their plate. And so now we focus more on introducing and including plant-based on the diet, on the food that they have. We actually talk about flipping their plates. So like, for example, they eat a lot of meat this time. So we wanted to introduce more plant-based on the food preparation so that less of a meat will be eaten every single meal. Or the same thing with the desserts, right? So if they are used to taking like refined desserts, now we are introducing them healthier sorts of dessert, but we still have those favorite desserts they have on a bite size maybe, so that they can can just fill in the cravings that they have while they were on the transition process. Now here you can see that plant-based diet are associated with a low risk of incident for CVDs, cardiovascular disease mortality, and take note, all-cause mortality in a general population in middle-aged adults like you and me. So this is the very reason why the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine and its members are actually focusing on whole food plant-based diet. And lastly, here, as you can see, this is the American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association guideline for primary prevention for cardiovascular disease. Doctors here, I'm sure we might end up providing or prescribing medicine to our patient because we wanted to decrease the risk factors or end complications maybe, but it is crucial and it is essential to remember that we all have to promote a healthy lifestyle throughout life. If we know how to give them maintenance medication, if we know how to prescribe maintenance medication for life, then we should also know how to promote healthy lifestyle throughout life. That's the content of the guideline, and this is the most neglected intervention actually. Now in lifestyle medicine, as you can see, these are the 6 pillars in the introductory videos that we're playing. You can see there, like I said earlier, we focus a lot on healthy eating of plant-based food. And so we started working on this topic for this postgraduate course because in the next coming years, we'll be focusing on the other pillars of lifestyle medicine. Now, as you can see on the lifestyle medicine modalities, it includes nutrition, and the rest of these modalities with the emphasis on behavioral intervention. And I really love this statement that was published in the article of Dr. Neil Barnard. He said, ignorance of nutrition is no longer defensible. So this is for physicians. This is for healthcare workers. We're not supposed to be ignorant of nutrition because when we are ignorant to nutrition, how can we even counsel our patients? It's pretty hard, right? So if we do not practice this ourselves, it will be impossible for us to counsel patients to go for healthier diet, for example, okay? So here, bottom line is that unhealthy diet is a modifiable risk factor for non-communicable disease. And we know that non-communicable disease now dictates the fate, of patients who will be infected of communicable disease and their risk for fatality. Therefore, we can use food, as medicine. So this is repurposing food. You do not only eat to satisfy your cravings, but this time we have the mindset that we wanted to feed our patients, we wanted to feed ourselves and our family to improve our health, right? To achieve longevity. It's not just right there for us to consume, for us to be full, right? So we wanted to eat so that we can get all the phytonutrients, all the antioxidants, all the micronutrients that we need on that plate. So whenever we eat, we make sure that we have a very, very good landscape on our plate, right? That will modify a risk for both non-communicable disease and communicable disease. So literally, like I said earlier, if we know how to prescribe, and for those nutritionists and nurses here, if you know how to read our prescription, like we prescribe empagliflozin or we prescribe losartan, if you understand those language, then hopefully in the nearest future, our healthcare providers would also understand when we say you have to consume leafy green vegetables 1 to 2 cups in each meal. And so that our nurses in the future would know somehow on how to advise patients, oh yes, you have to include this on your diet for 30 days, right? So this is what we do in lifestyle medicine. We integrate and we provide a nutrition prescription to patients, literally and very specific. And that is where culinary medicine will come in. Now, in fact, there has been a huge focus on nutrition, but there is a huge challenge as well in preparation of the food. And so here, when we say culinary medicine, this is simple. This is basically helping patients achieve and maintain health through a combination of nutrition and culinary knowledge. Okay, so in fact, there are many literatures that you can find and you can visit and you can search actually that will provide you information about culinary medicine, like what Leah Saris has described earlier in the video that I showed you. Culinary medicine now is being integrated in medical school. Over 15% of the medical schools in the United States are already licensing culinary medicine. So that's under Tulane University and the Goldred Institute of Culinary Medicine. Now, culinary medicine is also integrated in medical nutrition therapy. So this is for nutrition and dietetics, for kidneys, for kidney health and disease. Now, we also talk about foods in terms of immune functions. We also talk about food in terms of diabetes, so on and so forth. So basically, as you can see, this is just telling us that there is really a huge role for culinary medicine in our practice now and in our future practice. As you can see, this article actually is a collaboration of many different medical schools in the United States, and they are trying to emphasize here the advancing framework for healthier eating to improve chronic disease management and prevention through culinary medicine. So basically, culinary medicine, again, is a practice of helping patients use nutrition and good cooking habits to restore and maintain health. And we have three basic principles in culinary medicine. And that is first, nutrition knowledge that is hugely lacking in medical education. So I don't know, because if you were to try to discuss about nutrition in a physician, we are left with knowledge that we got in preclinical stages of our education. So it's just right there in biochemistry. We learn about the nutrition deficiencies and that's all. We do not learn more about the overnutrition or overconsumption of certain things, right? So if you were to discuss about nutrition knowledge with a nutritionist and dietitian, they know a lot of this. But this is really a good chance, to integrate both knowledge of medicine and then the nutrition knowledge. And then we include here the cooking skills, of course, because like I said, there is a huge challenge in terms of preparation of food because people now are so busy. I don't know who among you here are not busy, because everyone is busy. How can you prepare your food, efficiently so that you will not get deficient with some other nutrients that you would need if you want to go for plant-based diet, maybe if you want to transition. And of course, we deal much on behavior change because you might know a lot about nutrition knowledge, you might know about cooking skills, but if you do not know how to coach your patients into behavior change, that they may be ready in taking action to take care of their health, or in taking action to start eating healthier food, or changing their food preferences, then it won't make sense at all. So this knowledge will still remain a theory. Cooking skills will just remain in the kitchen. It will not be translated. Cooking skills, will just remain on the books, and it will not be translated in the kitchens of our patients, right? So right now, culinary medicine, like I said, is being offered in many different universities in the United States. So actually, the Harvard Medical School started offering culinary medicine through the Institute of Lifestyle Medicine. So you can also find this in the United Kingdom and many other states at the same time. So it is included as an elective class for medicine and nutrition. And here, this one is in the Philippines, and we are already integrating culinary medicine actually in many different educational platforms. I have another video to show you here, and this is the Spectrum Health, and another dimension for you to realize how you can integrate lifestyle medicine in a hospital setup. Here we go.
Here at Spectrum Health, we're working closely with our resident programs in internal medicine and pediatrics, as well as family medicine, to help them learn more about the direct link between food and health.
Blending the art of cooking with the science of medicine is very important because there's a lot of good research out there on the impact of healthy nutrition or better nutrition on health outcomes. But many healthcare providers have no idea how to work with that science of nutrition and actually translate it into healthy eating behaviors.
Students learn the nutritional science, they learn how to create healthy recipes, and they learn culinary skills. And when you combine the three, they can really translate that into their home kitchen.
It's important to bring medical students into the kitchen to show them cooking skills so they can become comfortable and confident themselves. Once they understand how easy it is to prepare a healthy meal from scratch at home, they then can turn around and bring that to their patients and empower the patients to do the same.
When patients hear me talk more candidly about diet and nutrition, they're actually pretty surprised. Most physicians don't get a ton of formal nutrition education, especially after medical school, and they're surprised to learn that I'm very interested in helping them achieve a healthy diet and learn how to live a healthier life.
We are seeing and treating diet-related disease and really need to find an innovative approach as to how we talk to patients about food and its direct link on their overall health.
When we bring a medical student into the kitchen, what we show them is practical skills they can use not only at home, but by teaching them practical skills on food preparation, we teach them also how simple it could be to work with fresh produce and fresh ingredients and plant-based ingredients.
I have several patients and their parents who ask me questions in the office about healthy eating and how to incorporate healthy foods in their diet, and I knew that this would help me get there.
Eating better food myself helps me to talk to my patients about diet and nutrition because I'm a better example for them.
We're really talking about behavior change, which can be very challenging for patients, and we know that it's hard to make changes in our own lives. Our ability to talk to medical students and help change their behavior, they're then more likely to talk to their patients about it as well.
All right, so right now, actually in the Philippines, we have already integrated culinary medicine curriculum at the medical school. This is particularly at the Adventist University School of Medicine and also public health, the College of Public Health. And we also integrated culinary medicine in the community programs in partnership with the Department of Health, with Department of Education, and Department of Agriculture. So we have reached different regions already in terms of integrating this training program. And in the nearest future, you know, I'm dreaming and I'm looking forward to reaching nutritionists and dietitians, nursing, and then of course, culinary arts. As you can see in the picture here, I already started introducing culinary medicine with culinary arts colleges here in the Visayas and also in some culinary arts school in Manila. So here, if you want to visit, this is the culinary medicine curriculum that was published by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. We also published the culinary medicine handbook. This is for Sinasia. We're waiting for it to arrive. Hopefully, we're looking forward to have this. They said June 1 is going to be in Manila already so that we can transport this to those who order the book. And just a heads up, the manual for lifestyle medicine is also coming up. If you want to learn more about that, just visit the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine website so you can get your copy. And the proceeds actually for the production of this book will go to the fund of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine so that we can use it for our advocacies and for our programs. Now, we know that whole food plant-based diet is linked to longer lifespan. It is consistent with weight loss, lowering of cholesterol, prevention and reversal of heart disease, prevention and reversal of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and of course, treatment of acid reflux, helping patients with hemorrhoids, constipation, and diverticulosis, and of course, helping patients lessen their asthma attacks, and patients helping with kidney disease. You can find tons of literatures about it. So basically, just a comparison. This is a slide from the Complete Health Improvement Program. If you want to know more about the Complete Health Improvement Program, you can message us so we can provide you details. This is what people are eating this time, right? People are consuming too much oil, too much sugar, too much cholesterol, too much sodium, less and less of a fiber, and less of water. So my question to you this time is that what can you find on your plate every single breakfast? Okay, so what do you have on your plate every single meal? So our goal this time in culinary medicine is for us to look at the dietary spectrum. Now, this is prepared again by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. You might be, or you or your patients might be on this plate at the red corner. Our goal is somehow to transition onto the green corner because we know that disease risk is very low or lowest at the green corner. So any patients who are now facing and experiencing non-communicable diseases may be at this corner of the plate. So we have to help them somehow transition to the other side of this. So very importantly, I wanted to emphasize here, as you can see, as was mentioned as well on the video that I showed you, physicians' dietary knowledge and attitude is really, really important because we can never be a good example to our patients if we do not pursue a certain practice. So it's hard not to tell our patients to get rid of too much meat if we eat too much meat ourselves, right? So it's easier to counsel patients to go more and integrate more whole food on their plate if you are doing it yourself. So you can find many studies that will tell you that whenever we counsel patients, they most likely would comply. And actually the disease risk is getting lower, it's positively impacted. Okay, so just to share you some of the experience I had because I want to inspire you, you know, on how you can do this at your own spaces as well. I had the hardest time, you know, taking up culinary medicine. It wasn't easy to me because it wasn't available in the Philippines or in Asia during that time. So I got it all from the United States. The Natural Gourmet Institute started. They were the first to introduce culinary medicine. It was too early then that they actually eventually they closed because they don't have enough students, you know, to sustain their expense because they started very early, you know, in introducing culinary medicine. But here, this is Leah Saris, the one you saw in the video earlier. So this is at Tulane University at the Goldring Institute of Culinary Medicine. So as you can see, they provide lifestyle medicine for medical students, nutrition and dietitians, nursing students, so on and so forth. So I've been to many kitchens already. And so I thought I have to bring this to the Philippines because if I will not do this, it's going to do it, right? And here, this is Dr. Edward Phillips. Now, he's the founder of the Institute of Lifestyle Medicine, which is accredited at the Harvard Medical School, who is offering that, and that is now offering the chef coaching, also in culinary medicine. So here, if you want to learn about culinary medicine in the Philippines, you can start off by taking free courses. So you can start learning, you know, just take a peek, you know, on what culinary medicine is all about. And maybe you can go for basic course and maybe somehow you want to go for professional course so that you'll be one of the certified culinary medicine specialists of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. So I've also already reported this to Lifestyle Medicine Global Alliance that we're looking forward to having the first certification in culinary medicine for the year 2021. I'm just not sure about the date as to when, because the examination or the lifestyle medicine board examination was moved to November, and hopefully we can have the certification exam for culinary medicine in December, if that is doable. So you can visit the website culinarymd.org for more information. And lastly, I'd like to invite you for doctors here who will be joining the 114th PMA Annual Convention and Scientific Meetings. So we will be talking about the lockdown's effect on health, exercise, and nutrition, and we'll be introducing culinary medicine as well. So for those who will be joining the PMA, and that is coming up in June. Okay, so, and I am inviting you to join us later. So this will be at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we will have a culinary medicine workshop. So this is a virtual teaching kitchen just to let you experience how we do it. So for those of you who were able to prepare some of your ingredients and join us later for this workshop, hopefully we can coach you on how to do this. It's really enjoying, even if this is virtual. So just imagine how enjoyable it could be when we do it in person. So your contributors would be myself, Dr. April Don Lucero of Plated Prescriptions, and Dr. Johan Mañez of Doctor's Kitchen PH. So we will be preparing 4 courses menu. We'll be showing you how we do it, and then we will have return demonstration coming from your end. So again, thank you so much for being with us, and that's all about culinary medicine. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Mechelle, for sharing your time and expertise on culinary medicine. We are very grateful for all that you have shared with us today. And we know that there's still more topics, more, not just lectures, but sharing of practical ways on how we can help our patients have better health outcomes. And as what our other speakers, especially this morning and in the asynchronous sessions, have emphasized, there really is a need for us to deepen our understanding and our capabilities, not only in nutrition, but definitely other lifestyle intervention modalities, so that we can help our patients, improve and optimize the quality of care they receive from us, the healthcare workers. And there are a couple of questions that we have for this afternoon session. Initially, personally, I was going to ask what we can do to start now that we know that this is very important and that it can help us in our practice. But you have already mentioned that a good way to start is to really be trained, be trained in the courses that PCLM is providing, Culinary MD is providing, and I think that is a good place for us to start. We have a couple of questions here, Doc Jobs.
Yes, Doc Kat. We have a question. Where can we usually find cookbooks or resources featuring recipes that use ingredients for plant-based meals? So
there's quite a lot, actually. There's quite a lot. If you visit Amazon, you can find many books there. Culinary MD will be out on Amazon as well, in the form of an ebook. And there's so much resources already. If you visit culinarymd.org, you can find many recipes there in video format or downloadable format. And for our students who are taking the free courses, we also provide them a lot of recipes already. For those who are taking basic courses, they can get about 300 recipes of plant-based. All of these are plant-based recipes, and we make sure we blend, the recipes somehow, because many Filipinos would want a Western touch as well, and so Western-inspired recipes, but most of it are Asian-inspired. We also blend it with Indian-inspired recipes, mostly Asian, and we make sure that the ingredients are found in your local market. If not, you can order them online. So we're doing everything online anyway this time.
If I may add, Doc, there are also apps available in the phone that also cater to that vegan, like forks over knives. Asian. They have Asian list, and it's actually classified into sauces, soups, and all those other classifications. So you could also subscribe in Facebook groups. It could be vegan or pescatarians or vegetarians. So that every time you scroll in your Facebooks, you could see the inspiration every day.
There's a lot. There's a lot. In fact, because you're joining us in this event, we provided you a whole food plant-based jumpstart, actually, a material from the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. I don't know if you're able to access it already because it's already available on the platform.
I guess, Doc, it was attached to the email sent to the links that were provided.
That was the ebook for this afternoon, but we provided a jumpstart ebook, from the ACLM, and that's found on the tools and resources on the platform.
On the website.
Please do check on that.
Yes. Because just to follow up on the question of Doc Jobs, there were those who were asking naman on Filipino cuisine, because not everyone may have that palate for Western or different cuisines. So regarding the question on cuisines that can be part of the diet prescription, they can also follow several YouTube personalities who are also going through plant-based diets and veganizing.
You can always
veganizing the dishes.
anything. It tastes the same, and you enjoy the same taste, but but the meat is not there, the saturated fat is not there, the cholesterol is not there. That's the point, because we're trying to, like I emphasized earlier, our goal of eating is for you to reach longevity and not just to satisfy your hunger. But I'm not totally saying that you cannot eat those favorite food that you have, but as long as it's not occupying the center of your plate, and that your mindset is now different. Because if your mindset is you're eating plants and kawawa ka naman, I pity you because you're only eating plants, the mindset should be different. I am really actually grateful because I'm eating plant-based, and I already learned, my taste buds are already trained to eat plant-based, and so I am having this great chances of living longer compared to those who are not. But again, studies are showing us that those who are eating plant-based diet relatively have a longer lifespan compared to those who are into animal-based diet. So it really depends on the body constitution, because there are vegans who still get cancer. That's why we always emphasize whole food, because you can still be junk vegan. So that's why we always mention plant-based consumption, whole food, plant-based sources.
I guess one other topic that is a bit close to most of our heart is about the sweet content, the sweeteners that is being used in most of the dishes or desserts or drinks that people consume. So there's a question here: other than agave, dates, and other natural or unsafe sweeteners, what are locally available and affordable, safe alternatives for natural sweeteners that you know of, Doc, or you can advise the participants today?
Well, literally, if you can get rid of sweeteners, then better do get rid of the sweeteners, right? Because people now are literally drinking the sugar. We are drinking our calories. So if you can get the sweetener from a fruit, then that's better. Especially if this is salad, you can add sweet fruits on the salad, ripe mango, for example, on the salad. So you won't need any honey or any agave at all. So you add your lemon, for example, or calamansi juice, for example, a little bit of salt, black pepper, and then you put your ripe mango there. There's a lot of mango this time in the Philippines, so you won't be needing sweeteners at all. So there are really times that you cannot let go of a sweetener on a recipe. You can use coconut sugar or cocoa sugar, for example, because they have the lowest glycemic index compared to the rest of the sweeteners. If you have stevia leaves, you can use them as well if you have some plants, because I do have my own. Like if I prepare my fresh tea, I only need like few leaves of mint, and then I put some lemon on it, and then I just put some leaves of stevia on it, and then I won't need or honey or other sweetener at all. Yeah, so but dates and agave, if they are available, because many vegan products are now within the reach, and hindi na siya ganun kamahal like before.
Right.
not that expensive at all like before. You just have to know where to buy them.
Yes, Doc. There's another question here, Doc. That is a very, well, common question. How do we shift? How is the shift from the standard American diet that we subscribe to shifting or transitioning to a plant-based, predominant dietary pattern? What's the basic steps, perhaps?
Well, like I said earlier, just flip your plate. Start flipping your plates, you know? So, like, for example, you know, for Filipinos, the original diet of Filipino is like this. We have vegetables and then we have meat or fish or chicken as sahog, you know. So we just add those the animal based ingredients, you know, to improve the taste, right? But right now it's so much different already. So we have the meat and then we just have some vegetables on the side as garnish. So this time you can start flipping your plate. So add more of any of the plant based ingredients that you're already familiar of, and so that your taste buds already know them, and then start working on introducing new plant-based ingredients that you know you're not used to eating, and then make a consistency. So at least 2 weeks of integrating those ingredients on the food preparation so that your taste buds can get used to it, and so that it won't be you will be able to appreciate the taste already. It's the same step that we do for kids, because there are a lot of kids who really do not want to eat vegetables. So I literally add, like for example, greens on the sauce I prepare, or beans on the sauce I prepare, and I make it consistently for 2 weeks, and so they get used to the taste, and so that when I serve it up front, na talagang it's really cabbage, you know, there'll be no resistance at all, because if I try to just taste it, and then they will tell you it's familiar, and they will start liking it. So it's training your taste buds.
Yes, Doc, I agree. Many people are not accustomed to actually eating their vegetables and would always push it on the side.
Transition is really necessary. Otherwise, you know, if you're a lifestyle medicine physician, now that you're joining, if you counsel your patient to go directly to plant-based diet and you see that they're not even eating any single piece of vegetable, you'll notice they will not return to you anymore. They're not coming back anymore, right? So we want to win both those who are really on the action stage now, because maybe they have cancer, so they can afford to go 360 degrees paradigm shift. But there are those who are diabetics, you know, they do not feel anything at all. And so when you counsel them onto eating this and eating that, they will tell you, I don't feel bad at all, you know, and so they don't feel the urgency at all. So we have to know how to deal with them.
Right. Doc Jabs, is there any other questions that we have for this afternoon?
Well, in the interest of time, I think we have to move into our first legal question. We will try to answer the questions, the hanging questions later, if the good speaker, Dr. Mechelle, would answer that, or we could send that through email.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so, of course, we're allowed to do that.
Yes, Doc. Thank you, Dr. Mechelle, for your time. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we will be having our first legal question this afternoon. So the first question would be, this would also, we'll take also the first 5 who will answer it correctly. So the first question is, which of the following ingredients is considered gluten-free? Is it A, wheat flour, B, tapioca flour, C, rye, or D, barley? Wow. Mukhang diverse.
Maraming different answers to the questions.
Yes. Okay. I think may nakita na akong 5.
Okay, sige. Doc Jabs, what is the answer for the first question?
The answer is tapioca flour.
All right. Okay, for the second question, what are the 5 basic tastes? So write your answer na lang separated by a comma. What are the 5 basic tastes? Enumerate all the 5, separating each answer by a comma. Go. I remember Doc Jobs when I was in grade school, 4 pa lang yan dati. Wala pa yung 5th one, but And it evolved through research and nutrition science, I guess. All right.
Sabi Doc, dalawa lang. Sweet and salty lang.
Sweet and salty lang. All right. So, ready na ba? Okay, so the answer to the second question from our sponsor is, the 5 basic tastes are sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami. Okay, may nakikita kong spicy. It's not included, but that's a good guess. All right. So that's about it. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Yes.
Ms. Quinn, are you ready for our next session?
Our gut is the home of trillions of living microorganisms. In order to live, multiply, and perform their functions, they need to be fed sufficiently, or else they will look for other sources of food within our body, which will eventually make us sick. Fruits and vegetables contain prebiotics, such as fructooligosaccharides, the right food for our gut bacteria. However, proper amount may not be acquired through natural food only. Hence, supplementation is needed too. Feed your gut with Fologo.